And now we're all lit up again. On the couch. In the stands. And now we're all lit up again. Oh yeah, Ronaldo cocaine, Ronaldo cocaine.
Jarune, za tebe mi dijete diše, tu je važno samo jedno, nogomet i ništa više. Jarune.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to your run on the Impossible Dream. It is Season 8, Episode 5 today, Dinamo in the league. Let's see if we can put a second marker down against them this season. Then it is Ludogorets in the Europa League, our third game. Can we get 9 points, which essentially would guarantee us into the knockout rounds. Now, I have had this in my head all weekend. I do like a little bit of buck cherry, if I'm honest, and when we started calling this guy in the comments Cocaine Ronaldo, yeah, lit up was stuck in my head, and then I sort of came up with lyrics. So we've got a song for Avila, and if he scores, hopefully it'll go down a little bit better than what Skoko's disastrous song did. But anyway, he's a wonder kid. He's here hopefully for the long term. We're just going to get rid of that release fee of his. And yeah, I'm looking forward to him continuing to score freely. Now, there are 3 games to catch you up on. 2 in the league, 1 in the cup. First one in the league was against Variston. We went ahead through Ranocchia. And it was 2-0 after Antwi strike. But Variston made it 2-1 at half-time, before Antwi picked out Siraj for our third late on. So Antwi's becoming a bit of a star for us, isn't he? He played a 10 in this one. Well done to him. And considering it was a very young team, Benik and Borchman as the back two, I thought we did really, really well in this one. You can see from the XG tracker, we definitely kicked on in the second half, creating, more chances. Our XG just in general suggests for once it got it right because, yeah, 3-1 is what the score was. Possession, not so much in our favour, but we did enough. And ultimately, that's all you need to do, isn't it? Next up, it was Gorica. Now, they are 4th in the league, sort of just clinging on to the top 3 as we pull away. Let's see if we could extend that gap a little bit more. We went ahead late on when Borchman found Torres unmarked. So this was a bit of a tight, tense game. Now, the XG and the shots and all that would suggest otherwise. We had a really, you can see here, we absolutely nothing for the first half of the first half, first 25 or so minutes. Now, what we did that was different after that is I did notice in the sort of the pre-game when you get the thing is that the assistants were saying we should pass more direct. So when we were creating literally nothing, I did do that, and it opened the game up a little bit. Now, they didn't, as you can see, that they had one really good chance that possibly could have changed the game. That would have been them 1-0 up at the time. So I think that's why I remember it as being a very tight, tense game. But in the end, we did deserve to win. You can see we changed strikers up front. We took Kakavenga and Williams off. Eventually, we got it right and we got the win. So that's huge. Next up, it was our junior affiliate, Ratnik something or other in the cup. It's a game that we better win because otherwise we're going to have to stop sending them players on loan, aren't we? Let's see how it went, though. We went in front when Antwi crossed for Turpic. Kakavenga crossed for Antwi to get our second. Before Akbarzli crossed for Kakavenga to make it 3-0. And Bazar slipped in Akbarzli for our 4th. But Radnik pulled one back before half-time. Kakavenga got our 5th. But Radnik cancelled it out. And then got a 3rd. Before Antwi crossed for Turpic to make it 6-3. Only for Radnik to get a 4th. So this one's not going to go down any defensive textbooks, that's for sure. An absolute goal fest. It was always comfortable. I mean, we were 5-1 up. It was always comfortable, but yeah, we did fall apart a little bit in the second half. Now, it was a young team. Pulic, unfortunately, is not putting any pressure at all on our Finnish goalkeeper to be the number 1. But Antwi, again, we put a couple of senior players in there. Antwi, Kakavenga, and Akbarzli, just to make sure we're sort of holding everything together. But, Benisak's played in the first team plenty of times. Novak and Turpic have as well. To be fair to Turpic, I mean, he did his part. It was at the back that we were letting ourselves down. And, yeah, the important thing is that we won. It was a classic. And, yeah, we will never speak of that defensive performance again. Now, a quick look at what all that has meant for the league table. We are joint top with Dinamo, 2 points ahead of Rijeka, and as you can see, we have really cut that rest of the league adrift at this point. So it's looking like a 3-horse race for the title, and everybody else is more or less in a relegation battle at this point, though Bordeaux and Lokomotiva look as though they are themselves in danger of getting cut adrift. A quick update early season after 11 games of the league leaders, and you can see Siraj is up there for goals. Hugo Torres is top for average match rating, and he's also up there for man of the match performances. So that is that. Now, there is 2 other things we need to catch you up on. The first is a new signing. Now, it's Alexander Kozayev. He gets here on the 18th of January when our transfer window opens. Now, he's a striker. Put this guy in the category of pigs to fatten. He's going to be on, I think it's like 10 grand a week. He's on quite a chunk of wages. But I think we will make it. We paid 40 grand for him, so we got the transfer fee was basically a month worth of his wages, to be honest. So ambitious personality, a promising striker. There's everything to like about him. For 40 grand, 10 grand a week. Well, he's an international already as well. We'll fatten him up and sell him on in a season or two's time, and he'll be useful in the meantime as well. So yeah, I think all round that is. As I said, the next pick to fatten. He's at Shakhtar, never played for their first team though. Now, we have also had our youth facilities upgraded. It's always worth having a quick look at this, so we can see excellent training, excellent youth. We're not able to go any higher than that. Our recruitment and coaching is very good, which is where it needs to be for Croatia, because that is where we're going to get most of our best players from. And the only other thing we need to do is the stadium, but we just need to get the board on board about the fact that we could use a new one. So we'll keep fattening pigs, selling them on, and hopefully eventually that'll pay for a stadium for us. But let's get to the games. Jarun is hosting Dinamo in this one. We, of course, battered them on their own ground. Let's see if we can do something similar here. We're expecting a 4-2-3-1 out of them. Wingers and wingbacks would suggest that they are going to need to be trapped inside. Are we doing that? We are now. And this is the team that we're sending out. It is Utunen in goal, Fatakanti and Williams at the back two. Torres and Della Vabora are the width. Then we've got Sithole, Palumbo, Ranocchia, Siraj, Bertic and Cocaine Ronaldo up front. As you can see, I've lent into the whole Cocaine Ronaldo name now, and hopefully we won't get demonetized for videos. I'm very tempted to go, the shirts and the whole deal, but I've got to rein it back in. It's just an earworm right now that I've got to get rid of. All right, so let's have a look here. There's a lot of new names in that lineup, isn't there? Particularly in sort of more attacking areas. I don't know, Wouterberger. If only we had him when we had Fillet. That would have been quite the partnership, wouldn't it? And what do we want to say to home form's important to us? Make that count. I can get on board with that. If we can get a win here, of course, what it will mean is that worst case, they can't better us for the head-to-head for the season. So let's hope we can do that, and that just takes pressure off. We just don't lose one of the other 2 games against them for the year, and that's us with that head-to-head. So that would be very, very nice, obviously. I have gone with more of the stronger team for this one. Because I think we can beat Ludogorets with a not quite second string, but a weaker side, and this is the bigger game for us in this episode. I'd say this is should arguably be the second game. Don't switch off after this one, of course, but you know what I mean. I think this is the more important game for our season. Even if we were to lose to Ludogorets, we still have with 6 points from 6, we still have time to recover that, if it even needs to be recovered, really. So here we go now. Torres gets it wide. Siraj into the middle. Oh, Bertic. Was there a foul? Says it was an important challenge. Was it a legal one, though? Now, highlight continuing. Can we win that, please? Palumbo does brilliantly. Ranocchia. Ranocchia's contract is up at the end of this season. I think I'm going to renew him. I honestly think he's been brilliant. It's such an unsung hero. Siraj, what a ball that is. Oh, he's gone himself and he's scored, and just as well, because Ronaldo in the middle was waiting for that for a tap-in. But Siraj opens the scoring. It's only the second or third minute of the game. Bertic has slipped him in brilliantly. Coco has not covered himself in glory there, playing him on side. And yes, Siraj did really, really well, didn't he, to be fair to him. The pass maybe wasn't quite as much on as it looked from the usual angle. Behind the goal, there was a defender in between. So, but yeah, Ranocchia, I think he's been really, really good. He's just that sort of unsung hero in midfield, and yeah, I just think I'm going to renew him. If there's one position we don't have a load of youngsters coming through, it is that sort of more non-attacking midfielder, let's say. Not that Ranocchi is a defensive midfielder the way we use him, as he gets taken out there, was it? Anyway, Siraj just tried to foul and missed, and eventually Torres gets back, wins the ball back for... Oh, get out of the way, shithole. Talk to each other, guys. Come on, you're both wearing blue. Oh, now so this is comedy of errors. I mean, that is... Put a Benny Hill track behind that, and it wouldn't be out of place, would it? Ranocchi has tried to dive and just nothing's happened. Siraj has tried to commit a foul and missed. Williams and Sithole have run into each other, and then Siraj has given away a penalty. What a shambles. Oh, that is just... I mean, you have to laugh at it, really, don't you? Because there's nothing else you can do with that. That is pathetic. Alright, so it's 1-1. Let's get ourselves back where we need to be here. Bertic, mentally, so much as on the scoreboard. Palumbo to Torres. Torres, nice ball there for Siraj. Turns into space. Can he pull a ball across? Now he can. Bertic. Can Bertic pull a ball across? Back to Siraj. Siraj. Oh, he's a legend of the club and he's 18 years old. He's restored our lead immediately. Made up for giving away the penalty. And it's 2-1. He was involved in that one about 10 times, wasn't he? Bertic back to Siraj. He just looked for the space and... Oh, that's a stunning finish, isn't it? Well done, Siraj. Instant redemption for the penalty he gave away. Ronaldo is looking a little bit nervous. Is that the pressure of a song waiting to be played? We saw that with Skoko. We waited months, it felt like, for that. So, no highlights at this point. I mean, it's not a bad thing for us, is it? Because we're in front. Still like a Villa to not be looking nervous and anxious, if I could help that. Palumbo. Paul, we know it goes to the back post. It is headed up. It's not headed away. Palumbo has it again. Palumbo with a chance. Palumbo hits the post. And Ronaldo Avia! He's got his goal. The song is playing. And, well, hopefully it sounds a little bit better than the, as I said, the Skoko one. I'm not good at really much in terms of editing, but particularly the sound editing, I'm not great at it, but hopefully we can sing along with that one. It's 3-1. And next goal could be huge. If we get it, then there could be a rout on here. If they get it, there could be a goal fest on. It's Torres, was he onside? It's a cracking ball to find him. It's a very good run if he is. Bertic in the middle. It's back for Torres. Back post to Avia. Oh! He's done an Ollie Watkins. It's hit the inside of the post and somehow stayed out. Palumbo now. Another corner. Floats it in. Back post. It's away. Ranocchia will pick it up. Ranocchia. Oh, it's not a good pass. It's not a good pass. Don't you give the foul away, Delabora. And we've got away with that one. We've looked absolutely brilliant, and then we've almost conceded two, well, not we almost conceded there, but 2 comedy goals. All right. I think, well, I mean, don't get complacent. It's got to be the talk there, doesn't it? Because just don't do anything stupid, like quite literally. Just don't do anything stupid. We probably got a season worth of errors out of that one penalty sequence, to be fair. So hopefully, yeah, they did get that mostly out of their systems. Let's give them some praise. It's a game that it feels like we're in fairly decent control of. Della Vabora on a booking and playing a 6.5, as Fatakanti has given that away. No, it's a good block in there. Williams, was it? And it was an offside position anyway. So we've got, who have we got on the bench for this one? Rupnik, you can come on. And logically, we shouldn't be still attacking them. I don't know if you can see that behind me. Probably not. We are still attacking them. But it's kind of keeping them pegged back. It is certainly how I'm picturing it in my head. And we're done with any possession. We'll keep Williams on right now. Thank you, game. Rupnik has got a booking now. Fatakanti. Forward for Siraj. Nice ball for Burdic. Burdic with a good first touch into space. Can he pull it back now? It's in front of goal. And, well, they've got away with one there perhaps. But highlight continues, does it? Sithole to Rupnik. Rupnik gets it tackled away from him. And we continue on. It's almost time. Roy Nokia is only I've given him the big build up there, and he's only playing. Hang on a second here. I've clicked the wrong thing there. Pause for editing. Okay, we're back. I've gone to click whatever I went to click, and I've clicked OBS, but everything looks like it's still going. Ranocchia to Avia, and that. Well, that was very, very nice indeed, wasn't it? We'll take Ranocchia. We'll leave him on at this point. It's 4-1. There's no point bringing anybody else on. But what about this finish? Ranocchia's got himself an assist. Somehow he's going to get an assist out of that. But, goalkeeper. Another one. The replay's ruined it, hasn't it? Because the goalkeeper should have been tapping that over the bar quite comfortably. And instead, he just sort of pushed it into the roof of his net, didn't he? But 4-1, we have the number of Dinamo this season, it would appear. Was it 4-1 in the first game as well, or was it 4-0 in that one? I can't quite remember now. But here we go, building out of the back like we're Guardiola's Barcelona. Rupnik gets down the outside. We know he's got good pace. It's in for Avia for a hat-trick, and Ronaldo Avia, his 11th of the season. And we're all going to be sick of that song now, aren't we? But it's wonderful stuff. It's 5-1 against Dinamo Zagreb. We have ripped them a new one. And Rupnik, again, the goalkeeper, you've got to ask questions. It's not an easy one when he's sort of exposed like that, but he's getting in the way of it. Now, what we don't want to do is go, I thought that was in, and it would have been one of those you just have to stand up and applaud even if it goes in against you. So, yeah, I mean, actually, it doesn't look like it was XG-wise. It was a pretty even game. But scoreboard-wise, which is where it really matters, not even close. So that sends shockwaves around Croatia, doesn't it? Let's see you beat that now, Rijeka. But we are 3 points clear of Dinamo Zagreb. We cannot lose the head-to-head against them this season. So we're in a very, very strong position right now. So 5-star Jarun triumph. Torres, that's just a training update, so that's fine. Refusing to panic over the disappointment. You probably should be panicking, mate. We've put 9 past you so far this season. Ronaldo Avia with a hat-trick, and what a hat-trick it was. And Atlanta is not going to be getting Sithole. I can tell them that for nothing. All right, guys, wait there. Europe's next. It is Ludogorets. All right, welcome back. Now, we were in Bulgaria to face Ludogorets, but we are there without Kakovenga. He's out for a month with a twisted ankle, maybe ever so slightly longer, but not the end of the world. We have depth that we can cover it, but he would have been a very nice player to have around, not just for this game, but you know, for the next month, basically. So we don't have him, but we will do our best here without him. It is a 4-2-3-1. It works so well for Dinamo, they thought they'd give it a go as well. Now, interestingly, inverted wingback, you can't see, can you? But inverted wingback and wing up, and then advanced playmaker and a wingback. So they're going to make it difficult for us to try and shut them down, but I think what we'll do is we will trap them on the outside and yeah, see where they go from there. So we have changed things up fairly comprehensively. Utonen continues in goal. Triantis and Borchman will be the back two. Antwi and Delava Bora will be the width. Sithole, Bosniak, Ranocchia, Skoko, Akbazli and Matanovic will be the rest of the team. Alright, so we can see the team sheets here. Now, as ever, they've got their own Avia, not as good as our one, though. There is one or two good young players at Ludogorets. There always seems to be. Alright, go out there and impress me. So, they're not going to be easy. They have lost their first 2 games in the league phase, though. So, we definitely need to make sure that we're getting the result here. Now, I did go back and check. We beat Dinamo 4-0 in the first game at their place. So, that's 9-1. We've beaten them over 2 games, which isn't too bad, is it? If nothing else, just the devastation that does. That's an 9-1 would be an 8 goal. So it'll be a 16-goal swing between us and them in just those 2 games. So, yeah, that's impressive, I think, by anybody's standards. So, very, very pleased with how that's going. And, yeah, we just need to see. This is an interesting game in many ways to see. We've rotated maybe more than I had to. But just to see exactly what we can get away with as much as anything. Jakic is injured, which is why he's not playing, so Sithole kind of had to play. We could have given Novak a game, and we might bring him off the bench if it's going well for us. But our next game in the league is away to Istra. Now, we had a bit of a difficult time against them already this season, so I wanted to sort of keep the team that basically just played Dinamo, keep them fresh for the league, because after that we have a cup tie. Now, the cup tie we got is sort of outside the top 2 divisions anyway, so it's a game we should be able to win as Antwi gets a cross in. Oh, is that an own goal or Akbarzli? It's going to be an own goal. Interesting to see if Akbarzli got a touch on it, or if it went, if the defender sort of turned it in all by himself. Akbarzli played the ball off to Antwi, did really well getting in, and yeah, did Akbarzli completely mishit it, and it's gone off the defender perhaps? It looked like Akbarzli was in front of him. Anyway, Ranocchia to take a corner. Can we go and get a second? It's just over the top from Triantis. We've already seen him get a couple from corners this season, haven't we? The bench is fairly strong as well. Oh, this is another question for the class. What do we do with this guy? 18 years old. Look at the pace. And we don't play with wingers. You see, I've been trying to sell him because that was in the summer. I just haven't gone back and sort of fixed up. I think I took him off the transfer list. Matanovic, you'd probably rather him be in the middle, to be honest. But yeah, what I'm thinking I might do is in the cup game is maybe have a go, as it's another goal for Matanovic. Only his second of the season, but he's certainly got a few goals for this club, hasn't he? It was very nice too to read the end of last week, all the tributes to Philip. He's going to be very fondly remembered at the end of the series when we go back and sort of I picked, you guys are welcome to as well, sort of our best 11 of the series. I mean, we've got a couple of good strikers at the club now. I think Philip, for what he was at the time he was he's gonna feature, isn't he? In all likelihood, he was arguably he saved us from relegation that first season up, didn't he? We got him in, and we just suddenly looked like a completely different team. So yeah, he was a wonderful player for us, but he's just like I said at the time, when I go to pick a team. We've got the 2 players starting this one, the 2 players that we signed, Bertic and Avia, and then maybe then we started to look at Philip, or I was even sort of thinking, well, Turpic and a couple of the other youngsters will give them some game time. So he was just not really in selection thoughts. So it's and Matanovic gets another one. European defenders cannot deal with him in the air, can they? They've not been able to do with it since we signed him. And we've not seen a player that dominant in the air since old Tommy G. He was great, wasn't he? Not speaking of great strikers for this club. But Antwi, another assist for him. And, I wonder how many assists he's got this season, actually, Antwi. He obviously doesn't play every game because we've got Hugo Torres out there as well. We're just, in certain positions, we've just got a wealth of options. Skoko, can he go and... Oh, I don't like where this is going. Oh, it's over the top. Because there was a suggestion as well to retrain. I think Philip was, the player that... I can't remember who it was in the comments now who said this. You'll know who you are. But to retrain them as number 10s. That's a decent ball. It was... probably could have been let run out, to be honest. But Akbarzli gets it back into the middle. It's Triantis to Antwi. Antwi has a go. It's over the top. But again, we sort of run into the same problem there of it's not like we're struggling for number 10s because we've got Siraj, we've got Skoko as sort of naturals in that position. And then we've got others. Kakavenga can play in there. We've got Palumbo, I think, could play in there. That is, we just need to be a little bit careful here. We don't let them back into this game. And then we've got sort of the same situation where we've got some young players coming through. Bazar, we've sort of seen... come in and out with some. You haven't seen him outside of sort of game highlights, but just starting to sort of blend him into the squad a little bit. But we've got a couple of others as well that are attacking midfielders. So it's not like we're again lacking for players in that position that it's worth retraining. I when you get someone like Philip that was so good for us. It's almost wrong to see him just sitting on our bench rotting. I'd rather send him out, let him have a bit of a career elsewhere. I've got him on the short list, so I'll keep an eye on him. And then when the time comes, whether he retires or whether we get him back right at the end of his career, or sort of give him a coaching course and start and feeding back into the club, into the coaching staff. But definitely someone that I think we'd like to keep an eye on. It's looking a little bit like one of these games where everything happens in the first half. Now, Sithole has already played a game today. Well, this episode, I should say. So let's get Novak on because it's going pretty well. And Turpic for Akbazli. We could probably do that. Couldn't we get him a little bit of game time as well? And Benik, we could bring him on, but in truth, there's not much point, I don't think. Oh, it's a good header, just over. Was that Triantis again? Alright, so let's praise. Let's try double advance forward. Because I think that's Turpic's better position if we can get up his... yeah, his vision and passing isn't really there to be a deep lying forward. But you can see he is starting to train on for us, which is good because he had so many injuries where we first saw him coming into the first team. I was worried he was going to stall out, not really come into anything, but he stayed fit for a little while now. He had that sort of half a season out on loan where he, truth be told, didn't do much. They didn't pick him. But second half of last season, we brought him back in and he's still scoring goals and he's doing okay so far this season as well. So, yeah, that's good to see. Borchman, who is actually performing really well and starting to look like another one of these centre-backs that could be a good player for us. As Skoko wins that, here's a chance. Skoko, can he pick his pass? Will he go himself? Skoko goes himself. It's a fourth of the season for him. It's a fourth of the game for us. And I think it's the third time in 3 games we've hit 4 goals in Europe. And this time we might even keep a clean sheet. But he did really well to win it. Just sort of sussed up his options. Turpic's run there was actually brilliant, wasn't it? Because it drew this defender away, opened up the gap for him. And Skoko did the rest. And that should just about be that. 9 goals this episode. We've destroyed Dinamo. We've destroyed Ludogorets. And we're sitting second in the league table. Europa League table, that is. So well done, everybody. So there we go. We can see that there are some big teams in here, though, aren't there? Manchester United, Monaco, Roma, obviously Atletico Madrid, who have dropped points somewhere to RZ. Yeah, so it's not going to be easy for us. Aston Villa, of course, European semi-finalists in real life. Go on, boys. But there we go. We meet expectations in dominant win. Another $500,000 in the bank. Antwi is just looking... we just have so many good creating chances. So many good players right now. And look at that, he's training in the house down as well. He's only 21. And we signed him for like 60 grand or something. It's wonderful. Now, finances with that, we've got just under 21 million. We've got 22 and a half million to spend. We are over the wage budget. We can fix that right now, though. That's not a problem. And yeah, that gives us 200 grand a week. It's always weird when you think, like when we started, 200 grand was probably our annual wage budget. So, yeah, it's good to see, isn't it? Now, let's just have a look, actually. How does that compare to the rest of the league? All right, so we can see here we're 4th in the salary. Dinamo are on a different planet. And then ourselves, Rijeka and Hajduk are pretty much on a different planet to everybody else there as well. But we've worked hard to be there. We didn't get given anything. That's all been done by us. We were right down the bottom there with Bordeaux when we first got promoted. So, yeah, excellent work by us there. But that'll do it for today. And we'll be back next time. So we've got Istra. We've got this team in the Cup, which is a no-name, so we should have no problem against them. And then we will come back for... I'm going to say Famagusta at home. We should win that fairly comfortably. So let's come back for Lokomotiva and Trabzonspor. And then we'll come back for after that for Rijeka and Atletico Madrid. That essentially then takes us to the winter break, and then we can come back for the last 2 games of the Europa League if we anything to show for there. So that's how the rest of the week more or less is looking. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time for Lokomotiva and Trabzonspor. Take care.